Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Lions franchise after ending Season 1 with a disappointing loss at home to the Atlanta Falcons. Their defense was just good enough to just keep us in check, and our offense was just not clicking that game. But let's move on to Season 2. Let's get better and improve. But we do start out at the Pro Bowl, so we actually are coaching at the Pro Bowl. I'm not going to play it, but I am going to go through the roster here. Matt Stafford is starting for the NFC. At least he's QB1. Let's just see who else did. So Bowden did make the Pro Bowl roster as well, so that's a good sign. Marvin Jones makes it. He's the #1 wide receiver in the NFC. Let's just see who else. TJ Hockenson, he makes the Pro Bowl in his rookie season. What a big season he had. As let's see if we have anybody else. If we don't have Big Play Slay here, at least we have Trey Flowers makes the Pro Bowl. Damon Harrison makes the Pro Bowl. And let's see, did Big Play Slay make it? Yes, he did. He's cornerback #2. So we had a good amount of guys make the Pro Bowl here. Matt Patricia even made it as well. And I have no idea how Zach Zenner made it when he wasn't even our punt returner. So we do have 2 upgrades for Jahlani Tavai after the season that he's had. So I'm going to actually upgrade his field general. Just get him to be an all-around better middle linebacker. He's gone up. After this upgrade, if he does go up 2 more overall, he's going to end up being a 6 overall jump in his first season. That is amazing. So yes, he does go up 2 overall. As you just see, the progression that he's made has just been tremendous. He has been amazing in the middle of our defense. And you know what? He's still 23 years old and still developing. Le'Veon Bell does win the NFL MVP, as it doesn't even let you kind of see what he did, but he wins MVP. Let's just look at the NFC here. Player of the Year goes to Alvin Kamara. Matthew Stafford was actually second. I'm actually pretty surprised by that just because of the numbers that he put up. Offensive Rookie of the Year, TJ Hockenson finishes 3rd behind Kyler Murray and Darrell Henderson, which is a bit of a disappointment. But Jahlani Tavai brings home Defensive Rookie of the Year. What a great year for him, and that's why he had those 2 upgrades. So, best wide receiver, Marvin Jones wins it in the NFC as well. So, big ups to him. And Big Play Slay wins Best Defensive Back. So, we have some award winners. We had a good season, but we definitely need to clean up at some of positions that are crucial, especially the outside linebackers. We need more impact there. Offensive line needs help. And I think more of a consistent slot receiver. Even though Amendola had a big year, we need to address it. So the Saints face the Browns in the Super Bowl, and they come away with a 7-point win, 38-31. That was probably a great game. And just looking at the stats here, Drew Brees threw 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Baker Mayfield threw 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kamara went for 81 yards. Hunt went for a touchdown as well. Latavius Murray went for 2. And then for some reason, Cameron Meredith is always good in Madden Sims. He goes for 9 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Callaway goes for a touchdown. And then Odell Beckham and Landry both get 1 as well. So now we are at the stage to re-sign players before hitting free agency, and we do have quite a few. Mike Daniels being the best one. Now, I do like Mike Daniels, but I do not want to pay an aging superstar, and that's exactly what Mike Daniels is. He's just going to regress, and, you know, he did have a good season. If you look at his stats, let's just look at him really quick. He actually had one of the better seasons of his career, 7 sacks for us, and he was getting after the quarterback, 14 tackles for loss as well. But, you know, I have other guys like Deshaun Hand that I do want to play, and they are a lot younger, and they can develop into somebody even better. You know, Mike Daniels 86 overall. I believe Hand is 82, so he's not too far behind, and he's still like 6 or 7 years younger. But A'Shawn Robinson is a guy that I do want to go after because Snacks Harrison is aging as well, but he is under contract. So I'm actually going to offer him this deal here, 2 years and $3.4 million. I think I'm going to just offer him what he's asking, and that is what he's gonna come back for. So he does sign that deal. Tavon Wilson, this offer is actually really fair. 74 overall, $5.36 million. Let's see our cap room here after that. It'll be about a 2-year, $5.36 million, 25 left in cap if we even sign him for 2 more years. I don't know. Could I get him cheaper on the open market? What do you guys think? I think I could. So I'm going to leave him. But one guy I do need to sign because our offensive line can't take another hit is Graham Glasgow. So he is 28 years old. And yes, he's not that good, but right now he's our best option. So we can't let good offensive linemen walk. So maybe I will try to go after him in free agency when he's out on the open market and maybe just keep him in mind. But right now, I'm going to let him walk. He doesn't have anything that's rated, amazing. So I'm just going to let him go. Christian Jones, I'm definitely not going to re-sign. He just did not pop off the screen enough for me. So the top free agents here in season 1 in the offseason, Melvin Gordon, and this might actually be reality come next season. So I actually like that this is kind of lifelike there. Kareem Hunt's a free agent, and we're going to stay away from him. Kendall Fuller, Eric Ebron, Mike Daniels, of course. Austin Hooper is a free agent. Wow, I'm surprised the Falcons did not go after him. I can't even say his name. Yannick Ngakoue, he's a free agent as well. Shazier is a free agent. Aguilar, Miles Jack, Emmanuel Sanders. Derrick Henry, Breeze is a free agent. Wow. I'm surprised at some of these free agents here. Ooh, Jason Verrett is interesting. He's a guy that's 29 years old, but he's 81 overall. His talent would be pretty good to have at the cornerback position opposite of big play Slay. But then we're just going through the rest of the guys. You'll see them here. So first at guard, the top guard available is Cody Whitehair, and he's got 3 teams lined up to go get him. He's a number 6 ranked guard in the league. And, we're just going to stay away from him because we don't want to break the bank with this offensive lineman that we're going to try to sign here. But Glasgow, I'm looking at him. He's 75 overall, but then there's a comparable free agent to him, Clint Bowling, who's actually 31 years old, number 19 ranked. But he's not too far off from Glasgow. And just looking at their ratings, he has good impact blocking and good lead blocking. And just looking at Glasgow, who we tried to run to his side a lot during the season, and it just didn't seem to really work too often. And you can just see the lead block and impact block is lower than Bowling. So nobody's going after Bowling, and actually he's half the price. So at 1 year, $5 million, that's very reasonable. And I think we can do that. We can make that offer to him. I'm actually going to try to get a little bit lower here. Let's kind of lower this bonus a little bit and make it an even $5 million so that we can, kind of get him on a team-friendly deal. He's 31 years old, and he would kind of serve as a bridge gap to the next player. So now we're running low on cap here. This is one thing I do like about Madden is that they do have the real-life contracts in this game. And I need to kind of go cheap here at outside linebacker. Now, we do have some options. We could bring back Christian Jones. I initially said I didn't want to, but we could do that. But I can save money here just looking at what every outside linebacker is really demanding. You can see, the higher an overall you get, obviously, the higher they're demanding. But Bruce Irvin at 32 years old isn't too bad at 70 overall. He's only demanding a 1 year, about $3 million contract, a $2 million contract, actually. This isn't bad at all. And just looking at his ratings, he has good speed still, good play recognition still. His block shedding and tackling is a little bit lower, but his pursuit's all right. His hit power is good. I don't know. I think this guy could play, and he still has about a year left. I like him on a 1 year deal. And we do still need to, leave room for our rookies. So I like this. So cornerback is really interesting. Look at all these names in free agency. Jason Verrett's actually a good value there, but $10 million, that would be pretty much all of our remaining cap. But just keeping going down the line. Just look at these guys. Even Jack Rabbit's there, Janoris Jenkins. Let's just see what he is asking for. So he's asking for about $6 million. Looking at his skills, he is still older. Lost a little bit of speed, but he's actually decent. 87 speed is a little slower than what I'm imagining. Eli Apple's demanding $24 million. I mean, this is what we're dealing with here. Rashaan Melvin at 30 years old actually has an offer from the Texans, a pretty good one probably, at $5 million. That's what he's demanding. But I do want to kind of save some money. And I think that, Aaron Colvin is an interesting guy. He's 28 years old. He has good zone. Decent man, it's going to have to go up, but his play recognition is good. His speed is good too, almost at 90. I like this signing right here because he is 3 years younger than Rashaan Melvin. And I think that, I'm going to go after him. Just looking at the corners around him, they might be younger, so they're demanding a little more money. So I think Aaron Colvin at that price for 2 years, I want to sign him for a 2-year contract probably. I think this is a good deal here, leaving about $10 million in cap room just in case you want to make any trades or anything. So I'm going to offer him exactly what he's asking for. I'm not going to try to, well, let's lower the signing bonus just a little bit. So $9.5 million, and let's make him that offer, and let's see how he does. So we have some news right away. Bruce Irvin, Aaron Colvin, and Bowling all accept their contracts. So that is a good thing. And let's just see if there are other free agents that have signed around the league. So looking at the transactions, Taco Charlton does take a 1-year set $4.74 million deal from the Giants, so we miss out on him. Philip Dorsett goes to the Buccaneers, so he gets paid. Adam Gotsis re-signs. And look at this. The Bills signed Dez Bryant to a 2-year $16 million deal for the veteran wide receiver. And then looking at the Ravens, wow, they signed Jack Rabbit to a 1-year $7.2 million deal. The Ravens are always going to be good. They always have the defense to compete. Josh Doxson goes to the Patriots as well. So Tom Brady does get a little bit of help there. David Moore goes to the Browns. And other notable, I want to see where, CJ Anderson went to the Titans, 3-year $14.4. And look at this. Derrick Henry signs with the Patriots, 5-year $40 million deal. Wow, I'm surprised at that, especially when they have Sony Michel. And wow, the Colts. They actually miss out on Le'Veon Bell. Remember the rumors that Le'Veon Bell was going to go to the Colts? They miss out on him, but they do re-up and get Melvin Gordon in the next offseason. So that offense is going to be lethal. They got a pretty good offense. So let's get to the fun part, the draft. And let's just look at the top prospects before the first pick is on the board. And look who's got the first pick. It's Arizona. Once again, back-to-back #1 picks for them. But let's just look at this. And, there's not a lot of good quarterback prospects. You see there's 2 out of the first 10 are top quarterbacks. And let's just look at the #1 overall prospect, Tremont Preston. He's pretty much graded top 5 in pretty much everything. 21 years old out of Louisville. And let's just look at the quarterbacks now. Now, this is a very top-heavy quarterback class. 4 quarterbacks in the first round that are projected to go there. But after that, there's a huge drop-off. I'm talking 3rd rounder, and then look at the talent. Projected to be undrafted talent. That's just showing you how, just not deep this quarterback draft is. But what is deep is the receivers. Look at this. Whole lot of first-round guys that have maybe 3rd or 2nd or 4th round talent. But as we get into the middle rounds and we get to the early parts of the 3rd, we start to look at guys who are talented here and may go higher than what's expected. You can see a couple of these guys are added to my board, which I'll go over a little bit. But let's just take a quick look at my draft. And look at this. Quinn Bryant, who's actually the top guy on my board. He's a right tackle. He doesn't have a combine grade. Have you guys seen that before? Maybe he skipped out on the combine. I'm not even sure. The second guy, Joel Edwards. And the reason why I have a middle linebacker here is because I'm going to move him around maybe to outside, because this guy is a beast. He can tackle. He's got pursuit. And that's exactly what you want as an outside linebacker. Get after the ball. But I found a real gem here. Sean Chapman, 4th rounder projected. He doesn't grade well in 40-yard dash or vertical jump or broad jump, but look at that strength. He's going to be the strongest right end. He's a 1st round talent, but projected to go in the 4th. So let's see if a team reaches on him. Maybe we're the only team that really noticed it. But let's just look at some other guys. I have a bunch of offensive linemen here. They're pretty decent, but I do want you guys to check out a couple of receivers that I have. Richard Weiss is my favorite. Now, he's out of USF. 21 years old, though. He has the mold of Danny Amendola, but at 21. And looking at his speed, he's the 22nd ranked receiver in speed. And I think that this is a guy that we can possibly develop here. A first-round talent projected to go in the 3rd round. And then the next guy I want to keep an eye on is Kirkland Samuel. He's got 3rd-round talent. But just looking at how he graded out, he's one of the fastest receivers, 21 years old. He's got the best jumping in the class, best broad jump in the class. So he's going to be an athletic receiver that we can play in the slot. I don't know. Maybe we'll move, Marvin Jones to the slot when he can play there. I don't know. But this guy is impressive, I think. He's got some athleticism. So let's see who the Cardinals decide to go with. They went with Kyler Murray last year. And let's just see who they go with this year. And they go with Tremont Preston, the running back, who was projected to go number 1 overall. So he ends up going 1. Harvey Myrick, so the first quarterback comes off the board to the Dolphins. So I guess the Dolphins don't like Josh Rosen right now. And that was a problem with Madden 19. They were kind of just drafting quarterbacks at the positions they already have, like Mitchell Trubisky. When I played in my franchise last year, the Bears drafted Mitchell Trubisky. That really, the Bears drafted a rookie over Mitchell Trubisky. That kind of bothered me a little bit. Let's see how the rest of the first round goes. And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected a tight end number 3 overall. They have O.J. Howard. I don't understand that. So now as we near our pick, let's just look at the picks before us. San Diego or L.A. drafts a cornerback at 71 overall. The Redskins draft a defensive end at 69 overall. And then the Redskins draft a cornerback at 69. So I look at our draft board here, and our top prospect, Quinn Bryant, is still on the board. Great impact block, great pass block finesse. He's a 2nd-round projection, but I cannot risk losing a 21-year-old pass protector. I mean, that is just amazing. But looking at the other top guys on the board, they're pretty much offensive guys, and I kind of scouted a couple of these guys, but you see their talent isn't as good as what they're projected to go at. So I am really looking at this tackle, and I think I am going to go with him. Quinn Bryant out of Michigan, 6'7", 313. Let's do it. Let's go after an offensive lineman. He ends up being a 74 overall. I dig it. He is normal development, though. I thought they hid the traits there. But he is a decent run blocker, a pretty good pass blocker as well as a rookie. He's got good pass block finesse, good impact block. I think this is a good pick. 74 overall, and the guys ahead of us, a couple of picks you saw, it was either low 70s or high 60s. I think this is a win. So just looking at the top available talent here, this quarterback is still on the board. He's a 1st-round talent, decent speed, D Bird, but I'm just not in the market for a quarterback just yet. I think I'm going to go after a quarterback next draft, and I see a lot of offensive linemen going off in this draft. I see a lot of receivers as well. Let's just look who's left at cornerback. And there are a couple guys here. Robert Jeffrey is a decent guy. He's a 2nd-round talent. Let's take a look at him. 21 years old. He didn't grade all that well at the combine. Javon Allen, he's a little slower. I do want some speed at cornerback. We don't even have him fully scouted. Let's just look at our draft board as far as all positions go. So Joel Edwards, we're still on the board for him, but he is projected to go in the 4th round. Maybe we can snag him next round. But then we have Carl O'Neal, who is a 1st-round talent. He didn't grade too well with everything, but he has good strength. He's a late 1st-round talent. So maybe even getting back-to-back offensive linemen in the 1st round might be the way to go. I don't know. Let's just see the rest of these guys here. And I don't really have too much 1st-round talent except for these guys at the top of the board. But I don't know. This guy looks like he's going to be great because of that 1st-round talent. B+ pursuit and B+ power moves. He's a right end. We don't really need defensive linemen right now. So let's just wait around to see if he drops. But I am looking at this linebacker, Joel Edwards. Now, he doesn't have he's not the fastest here. We would be getting good value here at the late second round spot, 22 years old. He's quick. He's got strength as well. Good tackler, good awareness. I'm thinking about going after him. Joel Edwards, another linebacker adding to the board. Let's just see. I don't know. Is Richard Weiss going to last until the third? I don't know. But I do want him, and I do want Sean Chapman. Hopefully Chapman drops. I could, use him as a depth guy. But I think I'm going to go after Joel Edwards. Add some more depth at the linebacker position. And we need to get younger there as well. Let's just do it because our outside linebackers are aging. And right now we just signed Bruce Irvin. Let's just do it. He ends up being 68 overall. It's not great. Decent speed, good tackler, good pursuit, great acceleration, good awareness. I'm not mad at this pick because of how the draft classes are made. High 60s is good at this part of the draft. So I always do like to see the pick around where I'm picking. 66 overall strong safety goes to the Redskins. So time to make our pick, and we have some good news. Going into this round, our guys are still on our board. And just looking at Sean Chapman, I keep going back to him. He's a first-round talent, fourth-round projecting. If I do let him fall, I think he will be off the board. He's not the greatest in athleticism, but you can just see it. It just looks a little bit like J.J. Watt here. I'm not saying this guy's going to be J.J. Watt, but first-round talent in the third round, at the bottom of the third round, I'm going to do it. I'm not even going to hesitate. 71 overall. That's a good pick. He's ranked number 23 in true talent, and we selected him at 86. Good power moves. The speed's low, but strength is high. 88. He's got 80 pursuit. I really, really like this pick. And maybe he can, earn some development traits, some upgrades there. So I like this pick. I can't lie. I like this pick. So I do want to go BPA, best player available here, but I want to go at the position that has the best players available. Now I'm seeing corner and end a lot, so I'm going to go corner here. I'm just going to go out off of who I see possibly had the best combine, because that's all we really have to go off of. We didn't scout all these guys, but some of these guys are slow. And I'm looking at this guy here, Corey Leak. He's 21 years old out of North Dakota State. You know what? He has decent strength, which is actually fourth among all corners, and decent speed. I mean, maybe he's a guy we go after here. Looking at the guys around him, Lincoln Jacobs isn't, he's not the fastest there, so I don't think he's too good. But look at Thurman Hood, a guy that can keep up in the slot. Maybe this guy is a slot corner. He's projected as a late fourth rounder actually. But I still go back to Corey Leak and Thurman Hood. I think I'm going between those two guys. Let's keep looking here around these guys. And I think it's coming down between these two guys. 6 foot, 190, 22 years old. Great acceleration. Looks like good quickness, decent speed. Or do we go after the guy that has better speed, but not so good of quickness, but he's a year younger as well, 21. I think I'm going to go with Thurman Hood. He's not that much slower than Leak was, but I like Thurman Hood here, and I think that's who I'm going to go with. Let's just see how good he ends up being, and it ends up being a reach. Wow. So we make our first misstep of the draft, going after speed here instead of true skill, and it burns us 62 overall. So this late in the draft, we're really looking for just anything. BPA, best player available. And I don't know if we have too many good guys left. We do still have a couple of guys from our board. One of the guys I was looking for late in the draft was Oscar Ebanks, and this guy is pretty good. Good bench press. 40-yard dash is decent. It's 12th. That's not horrible. And everything else is in the middle of the pack. And so is Justin Estes, who projected in the 6th round. I'm not going to go after Estes. I'm going to wait for Ebanks to kind of drop one more pick. And I might even trade back here. But I'm looking at best player available. It's London Allen out of UTEP. Doesn't seem like he does anything very well. Tracy Collins is here. Doesn't seem like he does anything really well either. I'm just looking at running backs now. I mean, Jatavius Higgins, he's decent. But we already have like a Ty Johnson there. Corey Leak's still on the board. So we can go ahead and get Corey Leaks and see what we get out of him. I think I'm going to do it because we do need to add 2 cornerback. I think we need to add some depth there. Maybe we should just go best player available and go ahead and get London Allen. I think maybe that's the move. Maybe London Allen is the move. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go London Allen here. We do have Oruwariye, who we're developing at corner still. So why not? Let's go best player available. He ends up being a 60 overall, and that's the type of class this is. Once you get to the 5th round, these are the type of guys you're going to run into, and it doesn't end. He's not good at all, and who knows if he's even going to make our roster. You know what? I am going to actually just select Corey Leak. What do I have to lose here in the 6th round? I'm probably going to trade my next 6th round pick back for next draft, and why not? I mean, he's still on the board. We were contemplating drafting him earlier. Let's see what he ends up being. A 58 overall, so not even good. I don't even know if he'll make our roster. He's not very talented. He's just got the speed, and he's definitely going to need some work. So we will trade back here in this draft, and let's see. I mean, look at the Dolphins. I don't know what they see in this round. I want to see who they pick because they're offering 2 years from now the 4th round pick, 127. And who knows if they're even going to be good. I mean, that pick might actually be at the top of the 4th round. So I'm going to take it. We're going to move back 2 drafts from now and take this pick from Miami. Let's just see who they select with this pick, and let's just see if it's somebody good. Oh, it is actually somebody decent, Jamarcus Mundy, and that's better than what the other picks have been going for. We've been in the 50s, and they drafted 62 overall, so not a bad trade, I guess. So now we're at the 7th round. Let's just see what type of offers we have for this pick, and it looks like in 2021, some 6th round picks. That's not too bad. You know what? I might just trade back with one of these teams, probably Oakland, because they might actually be pretty bad. And next year's draft will be the actual draft class going into 2020, 2020 in college and real life. So I'm actually going to trade back, get a draft pick for next year, and that's going to be my draft. So looking at our draft as a whole, our best pick was definitely our first one, Quinn Bryant at right tackle. He's going to move over to guard more than likely. 21 years old, he's got a chance to develop. He's already ranked number 21 in the NFL right now. So he actually goes up 1 overall after moving him over. This is a good selection. He is number 15 left guard in the league right now. I'm really proud of this 1st round pick. This will instantly help out the running game and also pass protection. I'm really happy we drafted him. I do want to check out the top pick in the draft, though, and they decided to go running back as they do have David Johnson. I wonder if David Johnson's now on the block. I don't know, but he's decent. 90 speed, good break tackle, good juke move. I like it. Now looking at the 1st round, I actually think we may have had the steal of the 1st round. Look at where we drafted Quinn Bryant at. Pick 1, or round 1, pick 22, but look at it behind us and in front of us. 69 overall. Let me just highlight it. 69 overall, 68, 65, 70, 63, 64. And then Toll, actually, man, he may be the steal, actually. But he's a running back. So I think we got really good value out of that 1st round pick. Ooh, maybe Richards. Never mind. The Browns stole a guy at the bottom of the 1st round. Justin Richards. Man, he is good right out of the gate. He's going to be really, really special next to Myles Garrett. That's going to be funny. But the steal of the draft comes in the 3rd round. Pick 7, Deshaun Boyd going to the Giants. And here's why, because he's got a hidden development trait. In the 3rd round, he's the only guy this late in the draft to have a hidden trait. So he's definitely going to be either superstar or whatever the one below that one is. It's gonna be pretty fun to see what these teams do with these good young players. He's only 21 too. Damn. So I did end up moving Joel Edwards over to right outside, and he goes up 2 overall. So I guess this was a better selection than what I initially thought. At middle linebacker, he was 68. Now he's at 70. So a 22-year-old linebacker, I like him. He's a good rookie, and he's going to have a chance to start day 1. I think that Bruce Irvin and Kennard are going to start, though, and then we'll kind of work Edwards in as the season goes on. So just messing with free agents and looking at the undrafted rookies, look what I came across. A hidden dev trait player. He is a cornerback, and he doesn't have the greatest coverage skills or anything, but that hidden trait is definitely intriguing. He is going to be on the squad in the preseason. I'm going to get him some clock because I want to see what this hidden trait is, and you never know. It could be a superstar. I have no idea, but I guess we'll have to see. This is the first I've seen of this kind. Let me know if you guys have seen more guys like this, and I guess this gives you guys a heads up. Look into free agency and look for these hidden gems. This guy's only 62 overall though, but I'm intrigued. So one thing I did not do in free agency is sign a receiver, and that's what I wanted to kind of go after here after the draft in free agency. Now, there are a couple of guys that are interesting. Demaryius Thomas is one of them. Now, he's only demanding a 1-year, $3 million deal, but look at him. He's 32 years old, but he actually is really, really good still. 90 speed, 89 acceleration. Everything is good. Everything's in the 80s. I mean, that's really, really good. Even in the case of injury, that's really good. But I kind of want to go young, and I'm looking at Tajae Sharpe. And he is 89 speed, 91 acceleration. He's got good route running, good catching all around. I'm surprised that this guy was not signed in free agency. He's only demanding a 1-year, $2.7 million deal. And for me, that's good. So that leaves us with about $12 million in cap room after signing him. And he's going to be that slot guy for us. Also in free agency, we did not go after a backup quarterback, which is something we needed. And I'm looking at Nick Mullins. He's 25 years old. He actually, to me, he didn't do too bad as a starting quarterback last year for the San Francisco 49ers. Actually, they didn't have a good record, but I thought he did pretty good. I mean, for a guy that, I don't know, was he even drafted? Was he a 5th round selection or something like that? I mean, this guy had no expectations, and he actually did pretty decent. He wasn't nearly as bad as Nathan Peterman or anything like that, but I like him a lot. I mean, he's $2.67 million against the cap. I don't mind that at all. Let's just sign him. 69 overall. That's a huge upgrade from David Fales. So looking at our projected starting lineup before preseason starts, you can see our offensive line is much improved as we improve at both guard positions. I would say we stayed the same at one guard, but the other guard we definitely improved with our first-round draft pick, Bryant, switching over to guard. And then looking at the rest of our squad, remember we have Tajae Sharpe, who we just signed. We also have Travis Fulgham going into his second year. He's going to be looking to make that year 2 leap at running back. We'll see how Ty Johnson does as the backup. I'm excited for him. Elijah Holyfield should get some playing time this year as well. Keeping it realistic and also keeping expectations what they should be. We're going for that NFC North crown again. And we probably are going to add a couple of more guys for depth. I'm going to re-sign Tavon Wilson if he's still available. Hopefully he still is. Aaron Colvin will start on the outside with Big Play Slay, and then Coleman will be in the slot. And our defensive line will look pretty much the same as last year, except Mike Daniels is gone now, and Deshaun Hand finally gets his shot once again. So that's going to do it here in this episode. Let me know what you guys think. I think I'm going to make a trade before the season and possibly get stronger at the outside linebacker position. I don't know. We'll see how Bruce Irvin plays, but that's definitely something to keep your eye on. So that's going to do it. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Season 2 is coming up. So let's get it. Let's go.